What's up, YouTube? It's Knee to the Face. Here are some Week 7 picks. Week 6, I went 9-5. The week before that, I went 9-5. So, I'm hoping to do a little bit better than 9-5, although 9-5 isn't really all that bad at all. So, here we are. First one on my list is San Diego and the New York Jets. I like San Diego for this one. I think they're a little more explosive. They're just coming off a bye week. Vincent Jackson is healthy. There's a chance that they could get Antonio Gates, although it's kind of middle on that one. They're not really sure. He's questionable. If they get Antonio Gates back, it's sealed. But even with Vincent Jackson, I think there's enough. They'll have Darrelle Revis all over Vincent Jackson, opening up everything else. And their running game's pretty strong, so I think that the Jets are going to have a little bit more than they can handle. Offensively, the Jets haven't been very productive, nor have they been very impressive. I think San Diego gets the win on this one. After that, Cleveland and Seattle. Cleveland's going to win this one. Seattle, yeah, they're 2-3. They have 2 wins, same as Cleveland. They're just not as impressive. So I think Cleveland gets the win on this. After that, I have Detroit, Atlanta. Detroit just got beat by a very surprising 49ers team. I was very, very torn on that pick last week. I kind of wish I had gone for the 49ers. It was a damn good game. Of course, we all know the coach's slap heard around the world, so that one's going to be on the news for a while. As far as Detroit and Atlanta, I think Atlanta's kind of falling apart. Detroit is still very good. Detroit, I think, gets the win on this one. After that, Washington, Carolina. I am very, very torn. Rex Grossman is no longer the starting quarterback as far as we know. If that is true, it makes it even closer than what it is. And this is a very, very, very torn game. I'm taking Carolina because I saw some weaknesses in the Redskins secondary that Cam Newton is fully capable of exploiting without even know he's doing it. So I think the Panthers get the win on this one, making them 2-5, which sounds a lot better than 1-6. After that, Tampa Bay, Chicago. I'm torn on this one as well. Chicago's been very hit or miss. It all comes down to if Tampa Bay's front line can get pressure on Jay Cutler. If they can fluster him, get him out of the pocket, force him to make mistakes, then they get the win. Josh Freeman has looked really good. Even with the lack of LeGarrette Blount in the backfield, they have looked like a very solid team. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win this one, although I might end up changing that pick just on my own come Saturday. If you want to know more, tune into my ustream show and we'll see. After that on my list is Denver and Miami. I like Denver in this one. I think that Miami showed a lot of holes in their run defense against the New York Jets. Tim Tebow can run, and they still have Willis McGahee in the backfield. I see a lot of running for him. John Fox is going to try and keep the ball out of the air. He's going to try and keep it on the ground and let Tim Tebow develop as a leader and as a quarterback. I see a lot of running, and that's where I see the holes in Miami. I think Denver gets the win here. After that, Houston against Tennessee. Tennessee had Kenny Britt. I'd take Tennessee. They don't have Kenny Britt. I'm still torn, but I am going to pick Houston. Yeah, they lost to the Ravens. They lost pretty bad, but they did a lot of great things in their red zone defense that kept normally a very strong team from scoring more than 2 touchdowns, one of which I wouldn't even really call. I mean, both were red zone plays, but one of which didn't look like it was prescribed to be a red zone play, and it just kind of happened that way. So, Houston, with their red zone defense, gets the win in a very close game. After that on my list is Pittsburgh, Arizona. Pittsburgh has looked very good for 2 straight weeks. Arizona has looked like crap for 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. They are 1-4. One of the losses was pretty close, and they probably could have won it. But beyond that, they've looked like crap. Pittsburgh wins. After that is Oakland, Kansas City. Now, if Oakland hadn't gone out of the way to get Carson Palmer at the price of 2 first-round draft picks, steep price, but I think that he's going to give them what they need as far as a replacement for Jason Campbell, who is out for the season. I think it's going to be good enough to propel them over Kansas City and into a playoff spot. Oakland gets the win. After that, Green Bay, Minnesota. No-brainer here, folks. Green Bay has been on a roll. They're the only undefeated team currently in this season NFL, and they are not going to lose to this Minnesota team. Offensively, defensively, Minnesota can't keep up. And with the fact that they are now going to be starting Christian Ponder for Minnesota at starting quarterback, he looked okay in their loss, but it wasn't anything impressive. It wasn't anything that's going to allow him to keep up with a very mobile, very accurate, very powerful Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay wins it. After that, I have Dallas and St. Louis. Dallas has not looked good, but they have looked a lot better than the winless Rams. Dallas is going to get the win on this. They could have won last week, but they did run it 3 straight times. But look at the history of what Tony Romo has done. He forced his offensive coordinators and his coaching staff into that position by being so terrible at managing the game. I still think Dallas wins, although this season anything could happen. We could see St. Louis win over Dallas just because they decided to let Tony Romo throw again. After that, Baltimore, Jacksonville. Baltimore, offensively, they looked good. They did hit their deep threats in Torrey Smith, which opened up a 56-yarder to Anquan Bolden, who's not known as a downfield guy. So, offensively, they can make moves. They got stopped by a very good Texans red zone defense for most of the game. Jacksonville is not capable of pulling off that same level of performance. Personnel-wise, scheme-wise, they can't do it. Baltimore is going to get the win in this one, and it's going to be an impressive win. It's going to make a statement to Pittsburgh coming up on November 9th that, yes, we are not taking anybody for granted, and we're looking at you. So Baltimore gets the win, improving to 5-1. And last on my list is New Orleans and Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Curtis Painter, he has shown flashes of accuracy at a level that are at starting quarterback status. But they cannot put it together long enough, especially against a high-power offense like New Orleans, to pull out a win on this one. New Orleans is going to get the win. Darren Sproles may not get a whole lot of carries. It's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes he's very up and down, even in the fantasy lines. But expect Drew Brees to be throwing it just because they can, because the Indianapolis secondary is not capable of covering it. I'm calling it 34-10, and that's just counting on a fluke from Curtis Painter into the end zone. So, 34-10 New Orleans. There's my picks. And for anybody who's asking about any of the other teams, all the other teams are on bye. That's Buffalo, Cincinnati, New England, the New York Jets, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. As far as power rankings go, if everything boils out as I think it will, with New England being on the bye week, that means Baltimore will take over the number 2 spot in the power rankings, Green Bay securing the number 1. So there you go. There's my picks. Rate, quote, comment, do whatever you want. Throw out your questions as far as fantasy lines and things like that. I'll do my best to answer them. If not in the comments below, then on my Ustream channel, which can be found in the description box below. So there you go. Have fun. Adios. Bye-bye.